Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. This is my second session today because I recorded what I thought I was recording, only to realize that I hadn't pressed the button. So here we go again. This is from my journal, and although these are all curved lines, what I'm going to do today is straight lines. And what I did at first was that. Recorded the whole thing. That was the result. And now I'm going to show you how to do it. So, all you need is your piece of typing paper. Which I will get, and I will rewrite back. Right, I'm back. And I apologize for that. But these things are sent to test me, and test me they have. The day started with a trip to the dentist, which I absolutely love, as you can imagine. So here we are again. So the first thing I'm going to do is what I've decided to do. I'm going to put a frame around it. You don't have to do it, but put a frame around, and once we've patterned everything inside, we can then decide whether we want to pattern this. I have done patterns in the past. I might show you here. I'll turn to this. It's from my journal, and it's a book with things inside. We made the paper and everything. So I patterned something and it had a border around it. So I dolled up the border, the same as this. So yeah, so I like doing bits and pieces and filling in borders and everything. I stuck these beautiful cards that I received from my daughter when she sends flowers. So that's part of my journal. And then I just filled these in afterwards with a black pen. And it looks quite nice, doesn't it? And then on the front of the journal, where I stuck this beautiful picture, I patterned that. And that's the other part of the book, and I just patterned that with gold. Doesn't it look lovely? So that's what I do. That's what I love doing. So we're going to start this one from the beginning again. And first thing I need to do is mark off a centimetre from the edge. Mark that off. And I also had a suggestion from somebody today that I move my camera around to a different position, which I did. And then I realized that the way the position was, you get a fabulous view of my stomach. Yes, I've got a dress on, but still, where I'm sitting, the way the camera was pointed, you get a view of my lap as well. So that didn't work. So I've changed it back again. Not to worry. I hope I'm all on site today. Let's see if I can manage to stay on camera completely today. Must make a line there. That's very. So, and then we can draw the line all the way around. Now we're doing it in pencil, although it's not going to be in pencil, it's going to be in ink. I just want to do it very lightly in pencil first. and then that can be filled in ink, just because we want to get the corners nice and even. And if you press light in a pencil, you can always rub it out afterwards. I had a peculiar day today. As I said, the first thing was the dentist, which I enjoyed thoroughly, as you can imagine. I then went to visit my mum, who's 103, so that she could tell me all her stories again. And I guess at 103, you can tell your stories as many times as you like. So now I'm going over those lines with my black pen. And don't be in a rush, because that can make a difference. So if you're in a rush, the possibility exists that you can make a mistake, and you don't want to make a mistake. Although you can fix a mistake, as I've said, anything in art, if you do, you've made a mistake, you just change it. Or the mistake can be built into whatever you're doing. And that's very easily done. Anyway, and yesterday I had a delivery of concrete slabs put on my driveway that do not belong to me. And to say I was concerned, I'm not concerned. It's not doing any damage. It's just sitting there. But it's a big pile of concrete slabs. And why the hell put it on my driveway? I'm astounded. Anyway, I've made a lot of phone calls today. They still haven't moved it, because you need a forklift to come pick up this entire pallet of concrete things. Anyway, so from here, you're just going to draw straight lines. Wherever you feel the line wants to be. It doesn't really matter where you put the line. It really, really doesn't matter. All you do is putting lines, and the patterns are going to be in those spaces once the lines are done and the sharp edges are filled in. And how many lines you do is entirely up to you. However many you do, it will look fabulous. What do you say we do another one in that direction? So there you have your lines done. I was just taking a glance to see that everything is being recorded. And then you fill in the hard edges as we did in the others. So that's what it'll look like in the end. So any edge that's not curled, you're going to do that. Just like that. And that. 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 And fill it in. Try not to rush, because it can affect the end result. And this is a relaxing exercise. I've also got a heap of birds outside that are tweet, tweet, tweet. And I don't know if you can hear them or not. If you can, it's lovely. But I'm not quite sure whether this phone will pick up any of those sounds. And I'm doing all of this on my iPhone. It's not a new iPhone, it's a few years old, but everything's working perfectly. Doing everything with my iPhone. It's just, I wonder how we all managed before iPhones. Before iPhones, you ring people at home, and if you're not at home to take the call, then you don't get the call. It's so strange. I don't know how we managed. We did manage, obviously, but I don't know how we managed. It's already taking shape. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Somebody messaged that this was their favorite part, so I don't blame them. It is so easy to do and looks great. When this is done, we'll put patterns in all the spaces, make more spaces from the space that we've got, because quite of these are quite large. And I'm going to try with the patterns. I've never, why these take so much time is I don't have a preconceived idea of what the pattern is going to be. I just do it as I feel at the time. So if I feel like doing one thing, I do it, and if I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. So it's just a chance of how this is going to turn out at any one time. And the patterns, I've decided that the patterns I'm going to do in this one is going to be also quite regimented, like straight lines makes things a bit more architectural type of feel. So even the patterns inside are going to be in lines, just to make it more interesting. Haven't done it before, but I'm going to do it now. And I hope you all join me in enjoying doing this. Sorry, my throat's a bit funny. At the dentist, he put some stuff in my mouth and it slid right down the potato hole. The saying I always say. All the kids, my kids, all grew up thinking there was a hole for each food group. Because every time they coughed, something said, "Oh, must have gone down the potato hole." And what will happen then? I said, "Well, I don't know. If you eat spaghetti, it goes down the spaghetti hole. If you eat bread, there's a hole for bread." They were amazed. Only when they grew up, they realized that everything was rubbish that I said. Not everything, but yeah. But I thought it was funny. My son said, "No wonder they're a bit screwed up, believing all these things." Doesn't it look lovely? Sure, if you're doing this along with me, you're going to love it. And the idea I've had, which would look beautiful, if you have a picture, once this is complete, this section of filling in these areas, like when you get to that stage. So you've got that, and then you can take a photocopy of it. Must be a nice picture, a nice photo of it. And that can be in one frame, and then 2/3 of the way through, while you're working on this, you can take another photograph or photocopy, put that in another frame, and then you'll have the end result, what this is going to look like. And so you can have 3 frames with the progression of work. Probably black and white frames would be the nicest, and hang them together on a wall would make quite a nice feature. And hang them quite close together, about a couple of centimeters apart, and all at the same level at the bottom. Don't stagger them, all at the same level, black and white. I think it would look beautiful. Wouldn't it look lovely? Don't be in a hurry. See what I just did then? Because I did it in a hurry. it up for a second to make sure that everything is in line, and it is. And I hope my voice is coming through clearly as well. I'm not quite sure what happened last time, but I was listening to it, and my voice was quiet, and then it was loud, and then it was quiet, and then it was loud. So I'm so sorry about that. But if it irritates you, you can always just switch the sound off and put a piece of music on, or watch TV. A lot of my paintings that I've done, I had the TV on as well. This I couldn't watch TV at the same time because this needs a little bit of concentration. Otherwise you're going to go out the line. You don't want that to happen. Another person told me to speed these up. Another 12-year-old, because they see things speed up. But I said to him, no, that's not the purpose of these. The purpose of these is for the audience to grab a pen and a paper and draw along with me. I don't want it to be a demonstration and go ahead. I want it to be at exactly the same time as you doing it. That gives you a chance as well. It's taking shape nicely. Just very pleased the way these turned out. Last couple here. Well, what do you think, guys? That looks pretty cute, doesn't it? Yes, it does. And I think that we'll do a couple. Now, what I'm going to do is, and of course, all pencil marks can be rubbed. Everything's completely dry. Please don't rub it out while it's damp. I'm going to use the pencil at first, just so that the pattern I choose goes in a certain direction. So let's take this section here where I'm going to put circles. If I want the circles to come like that and like that, and do that and that, I hope that shows up. And then when I get my pen, which that was an 8, so I'm going to take a 5. I may change. So the circles I'm going to do is not just everywhere like we did on the last ones. I'm going to do circles like this. So, a circle there. So it's just a little more structured and it'll give you a different feel. I'm going to fill in the negative spaces in a minute, but I'll show you what it means once we start filling in the negative spaces. It will give it a more structured look because this is a straight line one. As I say before, I have not done this before, but I'm positive that it's going to look fabulous. And what you can also do, which we'll do in another one, is you can start from small circles to big circles. Let's just fill in the negative space and we'll see how this looks. Try and make sure you get all the white bits because those will just irritate you afterwards if you haven't filled them in. I'm listening to the bird outside. You know, it's tweet, 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 tweet. My mother is convinced, her name is Ingrid, by the way, is convinced that the bird is saying, "Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Ingrid." And all I'm hearing is tweet, tweet, tweet. She said, "Listen, listen carefully." It's saying, "Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Ingrid." But all I'm hearing is tweet, tweet, tweet. It's a bit strange that these things now in her old age, it's sort of becoming her reality. So she's convinced that someone has moved in there with a bird. And they very kindly have taught the bird to say, "Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Ingrid." But that's not the case because, first of all, they're not allowed to have birds there. And second of all, I was listening and it wasn't saying that. But if it makes her happy to believe that the bird's saying, "Hello, Ingrid, hello, Ingrid." And I've heard her reply to the bird saying, "Come and visit me, come and visit me." It's all a bit strange. How's that looking? I know those lines bother you there. Not quite dry enough to rub them out. My eraser has taken a walk too. Live alone, so when I say these things vanish, they just vanish because I put them somewhere safe and sound. There's things I've put away that I've never ever found again. Oh dear. Now what I'm going to do, because I can, and I've just decided, I'm going to make a mark here. There. And there. Which sorts of matches these. And then what we'll do is we'll continue with these. We'll see how it turns out. Doesn't turn out, we won't do it again. Let's fill in the negative spaces and see how this feels. Not quite sure how it will look. But you don't know until you try. So hopefully it does turn out. And you can just correct your circles as you go if you don't feel they're round enough. Turning out okay. Let's see. I hope you guys are finding this relaxing, because I think it's really relaxing. It slows me down from this hectic life. Everything seems to be so hectic these days. Everyone's in such a hurry, including me. I have to admit that. Always in a hurry. Hurry to get there, hurry to get there, hurry to get back. Just to tell you, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, and I really doubt that anyone's going to come and take those concrete slabs off my driveway. I'm going to have to come to terms with that. I'll just have to put up with it, I guess. They were informed, the guys that are actually doing the work, they didn't work today, but they would have been informed that it had been delivered, which gave them ample time the entire day, because this arrived when I was not at home yesterday, volunteering at school. Ample time to come and move them to the right position. What about that? Well, it's just a start. What we can do, another couple of lines here. I can do solid black now. I can get the other one, I think. It's worked out quite nice. What do you think, guys? As I say, whatever you feel like doing, you do. And I don't like the saying hope for the best, because in this kind of artwork, it always works out. Yes, it's a chance you take when you decide to do a pattern, but it doesn't really matter because the patterns always look nice. Just trying to do these circles a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger as they go. Now that's turning out. And in this thing, it's better that the circles don't meet because it just looks better if they don't meet. Looks okay. And then we can continue that. And, no, we'll do that another time. I'll just continue doing this. I'm thinking ahead that I could curve these circles around. And I may still do that. But you've got to decide when you're doing it what you want to do. And you've got these pencil lines guiding you. Because this is, with the straight lines, I'm trying to do everything in a sort of regimented fashion. Not to say they're all going to be registered, whatever that word was I just used, regimented. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, how it pans out in the end. Gee, I hope these pens don't run out. Quite a journey to the art shop where I bought them. Take me at least about 40 minutes to get there. My pencil. We do there, 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 there. Well, let's colour these in and see what the result is, because there's more space. I suppose we could do this. And this here. fill these in first before we decide how else to go. I think this pen seemed to have to press it a little bit harder. And that's very disappointing. What number is this? This is 8. That is, let's see what we have. We have a 9 here. Let me try the 9. Oh, something was wet. That'll dry. Not to worry, that'll dry. You can, of course, lean on a piece of paper so that you don't muck up like I just did. We'll fill in these. It's colouring in a lot easier. I wonder what music you're listening to while you're doing this. I'm going to put that in a comment. That would be interesting to know. I haven't got any music on. I find it a bit distracting actually. Now let's see what that looks like. What do you think? Not too bad. And you can just fill in the spaces with more circles.